Would you believe that February is next month, or well, obviously it's next month, but what I want to emphasize is the fact that February is next week. Can you believe it? And there are many things happening and exciting things happening in February, including the fact that February is Museum Month. And the Chula Vista Library is inviting you to check out a special exhibit in honor of Museum Month. Here to tell us more is Sandy Scheller, the exhibit curator over at the Holocaust Museum, which is in the Chula Vista Library. Good morning. How are you, Sandy?
Good morning, Liz. Can I shout out and say hi to Jason? Hi, Jason.
Jason, Sandy says hello.
Hi, Sandy.
He's waving. So good to see you, Miss Sandy. Tell us all about what's happening there at the museum.
I'm the vice president of the Chula Vista Heritage Museum and the South Bay Historical Society, and we have many things that are going on. Example, in the main library, we have Ruth, Remember Us the Holocaust. It's not just about my mom, it's about Holocaust survivors that came to the South Bay. In the South Branch Library, we have 100 Years of the Firemen exhibit. Imagine taking a child into the Chula Vista Public Library and they're able to see a fire engine. The old goose from 1922 is inside of our museum. We have so many things that are going on in Chula Vista. It's incredible. There's nothing like taking a car ride to Chula Vista and looking at all the wonderful homes that we have, the Victorian homes. But if we can focus on Ruth, I'd really like to do that because it's a learning tool for the schools. It's a learning tool for any school in San Diego. You just have to come to Chula Vista and go ahead and ask a question. I'll tell you anything.
Well, first off, tell us about Mom. Tell us about Ruth. How is she? Look at gracing the cover of so many important publications.
Well, she passed away 2 years ago. And what happened is Southwestern College printed this magazine during the COVID. It won the Student Pulitzer Prize. It was published in 5 other magazines around the world, including Yad Vashem. Anyone who comes to the exhibit can take this, and it's a 10-page article about my mom and what she went through. Mm-hmm. In a nutshell, my mother was 13 when she went to Theresian, then went to Auschwitz, was faced by Dr. Mengele 6 times, went to a working camp, had to walk in a death march back to Theresian, and my mother survived. And my grandmother and my grandfather.
Wow, that is amazing. I mean, these real stories. And there in Chula Vista, they even have the replica wall, right, of Auschwitz?
Yes, the replica wall. And let me tell you, when I give tours, because like I said, the Chula Vista Elementary School District and the Sweetwater Union High School District have jumped on board to allow classes to come to the classroom. We, as a society, paid $5,000 for school buses to come to the exhibit for the elementary school. So any teacher can email me at scheller@cox.net or call our Chula Vista Heritage Museum. We can be found at rememberustheholocaust.org, and all the information is there. So when you're standing in front of that wall, the Auschwitz wall, I will tell students to take out their iPhone, and I have them Google the address that you see halfway to the right, and they're shocked at what they see on the other side.
Wow. It's a history of not only the Holocaust, but and especially for the youth, they're learning about that devastating time, but it's also a moment to teach them about other things that are important in life. Is that not true, Sandy? Like forgiveness and kindness?
Liz, I'm going to answer your question and I'll go on to another one, okay? Absolutely. It's about kindness. It's about how do we start to teach, especially at an elementary school level. That's absolutely correct. Then we take it to middle school and high school, and we listen to the questions. We, as Holocaust educators, have to be incredible listeners, not only to students, but we learn to zip it when a Holocaust survivor speaks. because they have information for us. Anyone from Manya Wallenfeld to Rose Schindler to Ben Midler to all these people that speak today, we have to hear their voices, and we can never hear them enough. And I've made a commitment now to document Holocaust survivors. If they go to my YouTube channel, which is Holocaust Education for Chula Vista Schools, they can bring Holocaust survivors into the classroom. And the stories I hear are just, you can't make this up. This is so incredible. And we need to document those voices. And I'm so proud to be not just documenting on my YouTube show, but that I document them for the USC Shoah Foundation in Los Angeles. So yes, I do travel to document Holocaust survivors.
Well, we are very lucky to have this Holocaust Museum there at the Chula Vista Library. And coming up next week, I cannot believe it's going to be February already.
I know.
There are, more than 45 museums across the county where families can take the kids. There's discounts to be had. And I know there at the Chula Vista Library, the Holocaust Museum is definitely one that all should check out. Are there any days of the week that the museum is closed?
Well, no, we're open library hours. I just want to shout out something. Do you know how blessed we are to have the most incredible city council that we have, the people in our city council group, and Mary Salas? Because to have somebody on board like Mary and promote this, and to make sure that we can prove to any other city in San Diego that we will not accept any kind of horrible feelings, talk, marking up anything. I mean, we're very, very vigilant about that. I wanted to share something with you if I can. I came upon this book called Philippine Sanctuary, and these are people from the Philippines who took in Holocaust survivors. Our next exhibit after August, Ruth will come down in August of 2022. Our next exhibit will be the Filipino America exhibit.
Wow.
Now, how exciting is that we in Chula Vista are not just featuring the things that are old, but the fact that we are featuring people's history. Now, is that not cool?
That is wonderful. And that is a little later on this year where that exhibit will be up. Sandy, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us on this Saturday morning. I know we will chat again as we go along here, but we certainly do appreciate your time. We'll remind folks to stop by the museum there at the Chula Vista Library. It sounds like it will be a wonderful and educational experience for all. Thank you, Sandy. Have a wonderful weekend.
I appreciate you. I appreciate KUSI. I appreciate Jason and the crew. Thanks so much.
Okay, take care. Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
We'll be right back with more on Good Morning San Diego. Stay tuned.